Wayne, you done with the phone? What, how'd you meet Wayne anyway?
Oh, my son met him in the spa, and then we heard indirectly of Wayne, and then I called him on the phone, and that's.
Well, I mean, why'd you call him? Was there anything wrong with you?
I was dying.
What
Is that enough?
Yeah. What were you dying of?
Well, I was surprised to find. I thought that everybody, got to be my age, any age, that they would die of an incurable disease, and and many do, of course, perhaps the majority. But I was dying from lack of energy. I was running out of steam. I had gone from 140 down to about 111, and eating just like a pig. And I had been to 5 local doctors, one in Dallas, Texas, $6,000, no results. Isn't that quite a picture?
They couldn't figure out what was wrong with you.
Well, there wasn't anything wrong with me, except I had some bad habits. And if you look at the statistics, let's say, the obituary page between 70 and 85, they say extended illness or something like that. But
A lot of bad habits in there.
well, I learned that the bad habit was, if we had to use a couple of words, it would be food combining. Yeah, there's the secret, food combining. You eat the wrong thing at the wrong time, and it does not supply you with energy. It takes as much energy to digest the food as it does to do anything else, and I didn't know that. I learned a lot of things that I didn't know. Yeah. And of course, if you're running out of energy, and then you eat to get energy, and you don't get energy, then you run out of energy. Consecutively, just like.
So how long ago did you start following Wayne's program?
It'll be a year in April.
And what kind of changes have you?
Well, I went from the usual things that my age, let's use that very protectively, seems to have. My regular doctor wanted it to be arthritis. And of course, I had body pains that were very discouraging, and I had urinary infection. I had candida, and I had very serious sinus infection. I guess that's enough. I'm sure I had some other things, but that rounds it out pretty well. And all of those things begin to move in the opposite direction when I started on Dr. Pickering's plan.
How do you feel today?
Well, you answer that. How would you feel if you had all these complications and they begin to disappear from your body?
The reason I asked is you don't look sick at all. I mean, you look very
Well,
healthy.
you should have seen me then.
How long do the doctors give you to live?
Well, they don't spell out a thing like that unless, of course, if you have cancer, they'll say this man may live a month or so. But first place, they didn't know what was wrong, so they couldn't answer that question. Doctors are an extreme necessity. I wouldn't be in a community 5 minutes without them, but not for the purpose for which I was served. If I break a leg or something, I want them very badly, but it's great not to have to depend on them anymore.
So you don't need to help him on that.
Well, I'm on the way. I'm not crowing yet. I've had some dental work that has spewed a lot of infection into my body, and I can tell a difference there. It hit me, but it clears up. Just all I have to do is keep the faith,
Is this diet pretty easy to follow?
Very easy. Yes, it's very easy indeed.
Do you enjoy the food, or do you feel like you're
Oh, no, very much so. They're marvelous foods. They're natural foods. I can eat anything. People, my friends, they say, HL, can you eat this? Why, I can eat anything. It doesn't make any difference what it is. But, well, the same thing with gas in the car. I can put any kind of cheap gas in that car out there, and it'll go for a while. Then, of course, eventually it fills up with sludge and won't go, which was what was happening to me, you see. But No, the answer to that is the food is much more delicious because it's nature's food. You eat an apple, and if it's a good apple, let's say, maybe we should say an orange. I'm from Michigan, see where apples were famous, so I always refer to the apple. But you eat an apple and you say, "By gosh, that tastes good." But you cook it and put some artificial sugar, I mean white sugar in it. Well, it tastes like sugar if you like sugar, but you learn soon not to like sugar. Yeah, sweet things. You know? Nothing is sweetened, and everything is. The word natural is a naughty word here because everything is natural, don't you know? They use that over and over, but it's. I would refer to it as whole food. Rather than eat a cooked carrot, I would eat the carrot. And of course, if it's an organically grown carrot, taste is much better. Yes, sir.
I'm just curious since this,
Oh, we can survive with certain misgivings on the same thing because of all the extra pollution that they're putting into.
Well, did you used to think this way?
Well, I was orientated into this by my brother years ago, by Bernard McFadden. I don't know if any of you have heard of him or not, but he was kind of a cuckoo also, don't you know? So it was an easy step for me. That's important, yeah. Am I on now or not? Oh.
Okay. What were some of the things you wanted to tell me?
Well, you might ask, and maybe you did, what would I consider the main advantages of this program, other than the fact that it has
Well, why don't you tell me what the main
saved my life, let's say, and it's taken away all these dreaded pains and so forth. But the allergies have disappeared. Candida has disappeared. Can you imagine that? And but you know, you get to the age where, and we live in a community where there are elderly people, and all of them have grunts and groans. They have this, they have that, they look gaunt, they look fat, they look thin, and you get where you really dread old age because of all the, let's call them diseases, all the trouble that you're going to get. Now, in my case, I can sense that within this year that I am no longer heir to those things. Now, imagine what that means. The quote is in many of the books that I read that you can grow old and be healthy. Now, you're going to die sometime, but you can die healthy. An elephant does. He lays down and dies. He doesn't have kidney disease and liver trouble and a multitude of other things. He just gets elderly and goes to the right place and does the dying. Okay? So that's one of the huge things for me. And then there are fringe benefits. My voice is better than it used to be. Clear, more clear. And I'm much more calm and much more optimistic. Think what that means. Although I do have moods, of course. I have ups and downs, but they're not as severe and bottomless as they used to be. Yeah. I think that's what I wanted to say there.
How old are you?
I'm 75. Now, on April 9th, I'll be 76.
Okay.
Those are what I think of as chronological ages.
What's your feeling? How old will you live to?
Oh, I would think 90 years, perhaps. Yeah, I think so. I might. A lot depends on. See, I've been a weakling, let's say, since birth. I was a sick child, so I off for a poor start. Yeah. So I don't know what that means, but I'm in for trying, I'll tell you that.
So how's Fit for Life set the quality of your life? I guess I get the impression that you feel the quality has really improved now.
The quality of my...
Of your life since you've changed your
Well, that's very obvious from what I've said, yes. What is your question now?
I'm saying summarize the quality of your life. I guess what I'm asking you to say is that Fit for Life has improved the quality of your life.
Well, I don't like that fit. I don't like the Fit for Life. No.
Diet.
Well, let's call it natural hygiene.
Okay.
natural hygiene is about as good a handle as you can put to this. Health science, and you do need to call it something, and
Okay.
so natural hygiene. Now, your question is,
What has natural hygiene done for the quality of your life?
well, I think I've covered that. Anything that I would say would be a repetition of
I guess
that
that's what I'm
question.
trying to get you to repeat in a concise.
Well, it saved my life was one thing, which is fairly important, you see, to the whole picture here, and rid me of all the infernal aches and pains and threats of diseases. Pneumonia threat goes. Cold's good for you. It's the best thing in the world to catch a cold. Say, hey, good news, boy, you're clearing up. See, your body is clearing up. And all of these things are nature's way of, the body's way of getting rid of the debris that's in one. And the debris could be titled as toxin. Yeah, toxicity, toxemia, all those words. I might say that there is only one disease, and I have had it, and I'm getting rid of it. That would summarize your question, you see. There is only one disease, and that's toxemia. Everything, all the other deterioration seem to stem from the unfortunate aspect of having too much, I could use a very strong word, in the body. Let's call it manure, let's call it what we will, but if it's there, the body cannot function properly. And of course, it's coming out all the time. This is a natural process. When you eat food, naturally not all of it goes to become, say, in my case, HL. Part of it is going to go other sources, and so you have a constant turning of waste and energy-giving food, the production of food, as well as the oxygen and other things that come to the body. And if the outflow is as good as the equal to the inflow, not going to be much trouble.
You brought on self-induced toxemia by eating the wrong food.
Mostly, not enough exercise. Yeah, cloudy thinking as a result of a toxic condition, but I would say I figure that 90% of it, maybe more, was wrong combination. Yeah, meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes. You know, chicken. No. Well, you're going to die sometime, and that's what people say. I might as well eat this and die as to not eat it, and that's their privilege. I'm not taking away the pleasures of anybody. But I was close enough to a terminal situation that I think I had a choice, and I took it. You see what I mean? One was to live, and the other was to get rid of the nuisances that hang on to a person, both of which are rather thrilling to me. You bet.